Hey everyone, Gregory Douglas, the Creative Advisor here. Creative advice for working musicians to fast track their careers. And welcome to another Music Interview Spotlight. Today I'm sitting down with the fierce and talented Myra Flynn, a dear friend and indie artist I admire to the hilt. Half Irish and half African American, her original indie soul folk songs blend soulful vocals with lyrics that never let one get too comfortable. Crooked Measures, her 2009 debut album, earned Flynn a solid spot in the singer-songwriter circuit, and her latest album, For the Record, produced by yours truly, has received critical acclaim. Artists as dedicated and hardworking as Myra Flynn are few and far between, and she's here today to let us in on her own passions, interests, and experiences.
Where you gonna go?
Perhaps the most important question is, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Chianti. I'm drinking a nice, mellow Chianti. My roommate, who's playing the trumpet, is also a bartender because most musicians have, at least 6 different jobs.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm drinking, but it's definitely Italian, so we have an Italian theme happening. I mean, not
Awesome.
surprisingly. What is your life like as an independent artist in today's music industry? Truth syrup.
Well,
This is truth syrup.
yeah, seriously. The pros of being an independent musician is that nobody owns me. And the pro of being an independent musician with a very savvy business mind is that I can take advantage of this situation far more than a lot of people can. And I do know how to sell what I do. I do know how to market what I do. And on top of that, I know how to show up for what I do, which is funny because you think that is the easy part, but for a lot of musicians, just showing up is very hard for them. If not for the greater purpose of just figuring out that I will be able to teach others how to do the same, which I feel like I've already done with a lot of my friends who have been recently dropped from labels because labels are failing, and they have come to me and been like, I don't even know how to book a show.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. I feel really at home when I'm teaching other people how to make their own path, and I feel really excited about the fact that we are in a time that that is made so easy for us. There's a company called Brass Taxes. Their entire tax firm exists to create an easy path for musicians and other independent artists to be able to do things like their taxes, because who's going to teach you that stuff? The next step for me is teaching. It's so fun. It's so great to watch people make their own money, be able to hold on to it.
That's music to my ears. All right, other than the obvious, what are some of your other skill strengths, and do they support any focus areas you might use to promote yourself and your music?
I'm a very great salesperson. I used to sell advertising at the Burlington Free Press, and I always used to say that, I was a great salesperson because I'm authentic and I believe in whatever it is I'm selling, and I care about it, and I care about the people involved who are buying it. And so it's not a hard thing to do if you can keep that like genuine sense of care about you. But I'm definitely a teacher. I start teaching again in January. I taught at a private academy in Midtown last year, grade 7 and 8, and now I am no longer an elective. I am now the core music teacher. I am the core arts program at this liberal arts private academy, grades 7 through 12.
That's awesome.
I went back, yeah, and I can't wait. I actually really, really can't wait. I'm actually going to model my entire teaching curriculum off of the show The Voice, which is hilarious. But these kids really relate to that show, and I think that I think it's a really cool, like, non-judgmental version of like coaching and sharing. I guess my biggest asset skill-wise is that I really believe in myself no matter what I'm doing. So if this job has to change into being somebody who makes shoelaces for a living, I feel like I would do that pretty easily because I believe in myself. So, yeah.
Speaking of shoelaces, what are some of your other passions and interests?
Fashion, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm really into fashion. I feel like it's such a fun creative expression. I make jewelry. I sell jewelry and I make jewelry, and that's a huge passion of mine as well. I love to write poetry. I'm planning to publish a book of poetry in the spring, so it's
Awesome.
something I really want to get back into. And I just get my energy from being around other people. Introverts get their energy from being alone, and I get it from being around others. So I just love learning and being challenged, and very passionate about my interactions and my friendships, and people who I consider family in my life, like you, where there's just such a great exchange of knowledge and love, and I feel like we'll be like 90 years old learning things from one another. um, and that's important. The people in my life I'm very, very passionate about, and I'm a tough cookie in some ways, so you know the few people that I have that I am very close with, I'm very, very passionate about them, and about continuing to be around them.
I will look forward to seeing you and drinking wine with you more frequently when we're 90, sharing an old folks' home together. Right?
No
Right?
joke. I mean, yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for an aspiring artist trying to be heard in the music industry today?
Take yourself seriously. I struggled with that so much because my mom never, considered it a real profession. The rest of the world isn't paying you for it, so why are you going to consider a profession at all? I mean, it's really difficult to expand beyond your bedroom of, where your guitar is or your keyboard is, of writing songs. If you can't take yourself seriously as an artist, but you kind of have to. Um, if you have any desire to take what you do in your own weird way, because it's kind of like a twitch when you first start making music or you first start drawing art or whatever. It's like, oh, here's this weird thing I can do. Sometimes people think it's cool, but if you have any desire to share it with others, then just go share it. Go share it. I don't care who it's with, if it's a first open mic night, if it's with Bushmaster when you're 16 years old, some weird bar in Pennsylvania, which Lord knows that was my experience. Always be working and trying to grow and be willing to put it out there, be willing to change and edit and revise and show up. And then I think you're doing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're the magic makers.
Amen. Thank you very much for talking to me today, Myra Flynn. Indie Music School is coming up. Want to step up your music career? For more info and free training, go to thecreativeadvisor.com/Indie Music School.